Shalom, this is your brother Shamar from the Phoenix camp. And with that being said, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the brothers that are doing this work with true sincerity. Urge your mind to listen. This is Romans 3 and 3. It says, "For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect?" So what you see going on in the YouTube world, by the likes of Mr. Brown and Vocab Malone and different scoffers and scorners, you see a spirit of unbelief, unwillingness to acknowledge that the so-called Black, Latino, Native American man are the true Israelites according to the Bible. And what they do is they say that we're making false accusations, that we're twisting scriptures, when ultimately they're the ones that are twisting the scriptures. They're the ones that are using false histories and false doctrines to justify what we call white Christianity or white supremacist Christianity, man. Because Christianity, as you know it today, was made by the so-called white man to basically to set himself up in power over you so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. So there's a spirit of unbelief, but that doesn't discredit this truth. Because if you notice, every time these men, these unbelievers, these heretics, every time they bring something out, guess what happens? The elders and teachers of Great Millstone are quick to debunk whatever they say. So let's run that back again. So, for what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? Let's get that word effect. It says to be rendered entirely idle, abolished, cease, cumber, deliver, destroy, do away, become of none without effect, to lose, to put away, to vanish, to make void, to cause a person or thing to have no further efficiency, to deprive of force, influence, or power. So you're not taking away the power of this gospel, man. You're not taking it away. Let me get a scripture, one more scripture. This is an account of Peter, as you read up in verse 29. Peter, the apostles, they were preaching, man. They were bringing out the truth. And what happened after they did that? They got the people pretty much in an uproar about it, man. So let's be part of this account here. It says this is the effect that the preaching had upon these men. It says when they heard that they were cut to the heart and took counsel to slay them. So it infuriated them so much that they wanted to slay the apostles, Peter and the apostles, because of the things that they were saying. They was in an uproar about it, man. So much so that they wanted to kill him. And that's exactly the same sentiment that these people have towards us today. They're in an uproar about what we say. They're in an uproar about what we put out from the scriptures, because it condemns them. Because it teaches them and tells them who they really are according to the Bible. It foretells that their upcoming slavery and destruction. And they don't want to hear that, man. So it puts them in an uproar so much so that it's going to get to the point where they're going to want to slay us also. When I say us, I mean the true men of the Lord preaching and teaching this gospel, this work. It says, verse 34, it says, "Then stood there up one in the council, a Pharisee, named Gamaliel, a doctor of the law, had a reputation among other people, and commanded to put the apostles forth a little space. And he said unto them," so there was a man that stood up for the apostles. And he was, I guess he was a lawyer. Well, it says here that he was a respected Pharisee, a prominent teacher at Jerusalem, a member of the Jewish High Council, and teacher of Paul. So he was a very prominent man. He was a man that had a lot of influence and held a position amongst the people. It says, verse 35, saying, said unto them, ye men of Israel, take heed to yourself what ye intend to do as touching these men. Let's get the footnote. It says, for before these days roll up, Theodas boasted himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who were slain, and all as many as obeyed him were scattered and brought to naught. After this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of taxing, and drew away much people after him. He also perished, and all, even as many obeyed him, were dispersed. And now I say unto you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For if this counsel or this work be of men, it will come to naught. But if it be of Yahweh, ye cannot overthrow it, lest happily ye be found even to fight against the Most High. So try as they will, they can't overthrow this gospel, man. They can't overthrow this truth. You know, it hasn't been done, and it will not be done, because the truth was made to prevail. You know, the scripture said that he will give us a mouth that neither nor gainsayers shall resist. Let's go ahead and get that. Let's see here. These are the words of Yahweh Shai, who the world only called Jesus Christ. It says, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all of your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay. Let's get that word gainsay. It's a lot. Refute, no resist. So this truth can't be refuted, man. Try as they will, they can't refute it. You know, we meaning the men of Great Millstone. That's why we're constantly doing lessons against false doctrines, man. You know, we breaking down strongholds, because this truth, it can't be refuted. You know, we're convinced with the Spirit. We can prove it through Scripture. You know, the truth that we're speaking about. So it says, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And here's the part that you got to meditate upon and accept. You shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolk and friends. And some of you, they cause be put to death. So you got to be prepared to die for this truth, man. You got to be prepared to inconvenience yourself to the utmost. So, because there's going to be men put to death. The scriptures say that. There's going to be men put in prison houses. You know, so it's going to go down like that. But that's the price that we pay for the truth. But that's what the truth requires. The Lord is looking for ultimate faith. And he's going to test the men that preach his word. Because scripture said that every word that comes out of your mouth basically going to be held accountable for. So if you profess this truth and you profess your belief in this truth, then you also need to profess and be prepared to give your life for it, man. But you got to understand that if you have the ability and the spirit to receive and believe this truth, then that's a gift from the Most High. That's a spiritual gift. You know, to some extent, that's a spiritual power. To believe in this truth, to believe in it so much that you're moved by the Spirit to go out there and put on a garment and preach and sacrifice time and money and everything else for it. That's a gift from the Most High. You gotta look at it like that. It says, this is Hebrews 4:2. It says, for unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them, because this word has gone out, man. You know, you might have heard it, and you know, maybe a family member or a friend of yours heard it, like you did. But only you were given the Spirit to go out there and actually put forth an effort into it. It says, for unto us was the gospel preached, as well as unto them, but the word preached did not profit them, not being mixed with faith in them that heard it. For we which have believed do enter into rest, as he said, as I sworn in my wrath, if they shall not enter to my rest, although the works were finished from the foundation of the world. So they weren't given the gift of faith. And Ephesians 2:8 said that faith is a gift from the Most High. Let's get that. Ephesians 2:8. Let's see. said, "For by grace are ye saved, through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of Yahweh." So there's no reason to be pumped up or puffed up in the spirit by what you know, or with whatever ability or talent the Most High gave you. That's a gift from the Most High. That's the gift. That's a gift of faith. Let's get that word gift right there. It says a present gift offer, expression of honor, sacrifice, and other gifts offered to Yahweh, of money cast into the treasury for the purpose of the temple, for the support of the poor, the offering of a gift or gift, a sacrifice, a gift. And that's what the main sacrifice of Yahweh Shai, man. He opened the pathway and the ability for us to be reconciled to the Father, starting with the elect. You know, so cherish it, man. Know what you're getting into. Know exactly what it is. You know, we don't care if you know people want to not believe or call us liars or whatever, because it's gonna those names are gonna come, those accusations are gonna come. You'll be labeled as a domestic terrorist, you know, anti-government, racist, whatever, hate group, whatever it is, man. Be prepared for those things. But with that being said, it's a real quick lesson here at the plantation. Most High will and hope is edifying. With that, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Call halal, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Brothers, keep on pushing. Shalom.